This is Hindu Infopedia, welcoming you to the complex topic analysis, Civilizational Awakening. Today we examine a sensitive education-focused question: how classroom instruction can convert background exposure into lasting belief. This episode builds on earlier parts in the Civilizational Awakening series and stays narrowly focused on pedagogy, civic outcomes, and constitutional values. Our goal is understanding and reform, never targeting any community. Daily broadcasted sound can normalize ideas through repetition. But classrooms are different. They invite active participation, reading, answering, debating, and testing. Passive exposure tends to create habituation. You hear a message so often it feels ordinary. Instruction creates ownership. You engage with a message until it becomes a reasoned conviction. This is the pivot of today's video, from passive hearing to active learning, and why that change in method can harden attitudes far more than background sound ever could. Think of a school day as a chain: Q&A, interpretation, historical framing, community role. Each link strengthens the previous one. By the end, students don't just know a claim, they can justify it, defend it, and teach it. That's the difference between a momentary impression and a durable worldview. Let's look at how this unfolds by age. We'll begin with the early stage where memorization, authority, and identity cues take root. What you're watching illustrates how very young children can be socialized to react to a stimulus, the sound of a security vehicle, by immediately enacting a scripted response. In any setting, when cue and response is rehearsed, it builds procedural memory before abstract understanding forms. In early years, authority figures are perceived as unquestionable. Rewards reinforce in-group pride, and repetition cements automatic reactions. Over time, the behavior can feel natural, not because the child has weighed civic consequences, but because the routine was practiced. This analysis is about method, not identity. The same learning mechanics, cue, rehearsal, reward, can be used for peace education or for hostility. The pedagogy matters as children grow, that practice behavior can be paired with explanations, turning reflex into rationale. Here we see comprehension layered onto memory. Texts are interpreted, categories are explained, and history is narrated to validate present attitudes. The child learns not only what to do, but why, absorbing a logic that can justify ordering and hierarchy as reasonable. Finally, training shifts to multiplication. How to teach others, speak from pulpits, organize and navigate democratic processes. The message moves from classroom to community. Before we continue, here's another example that captures how educational messaging can evolve across life stages. This clip shows mid-adolescent learners engaging with structured instruction under supervision. Note the emphasis on confident delivery, symbolic language, and internalized justification. All key indicators that teaching has shifted from rote to rationale. Formal credentials change everything. Certificates and titles confer authority, building networks of graduates who share the same intellectual formation and who are then recognized as community decision makers. Advanced instruction can include jurisprudential reasoning, rules and categories taught as scholarly consensus, encouraging a worldview of hierarchy rather than civic equality. Historical narratives, episodes curated to present one side's victories as validation, while reframing the other side's self-defense as aggression. Contemporary application, linking old categories to modern democratic contexts. How to advocate, how to vote, how to frame demands as rights while resisting reciprocity. Leadership techniques, sermon writing, media engagement, interfaith appearances, public moderation with private rigidity. When beliefs are reasoned, they resist persuasion. When they're credentialed, they influence institutions. That combination, conviction plus status, can be harder to correct than simple prejudice. Traditional teacher-centric models can discourage questioning. Emotional levers, fear of spiritual error, desire to belong, family pride, tighten conformity. Gradually, students invest personal ego in defending the doctrine they were graded on, tying academic success to ideological steadfastness. After 10-15 years, the typical graduate can articulate a coherent, strategic worldview. They carry influence in law, administration, education, and media, often supported by alumni networks. The result is multiplied impact across civic spaces. Constitutional citizenship rests on equal dignity and mutual religious freedom. A curriculum that normalizes hierarchy or othering collides with those foundations. You can't sustain democratic equality while teaching that some neighbors are inherently lesser. This is a civic contradiction, not a theological debate. Paperwork may look compliant, but dual-track instruction can persist. Publicly sanitized classes alongside private sessions that keep the old content. Without independent pedagogy audits, teacher retraining, and community buy-in, oversight can become a performance rather than a reform. Education can heal or harden. In Part 5b, we'll map how these classroom-formed networks shape institutions and outline constitutional, rights-based reforms that protect every community's freedom while upholding equality for all. If the contents of the video were found useful, please like and subscribe to the channel. Visit hinduinfopedia.in.